This is the whole game of entrepreneurship. You have to create systems that work for you, that you can leverage your time. You have limited time. So an entrepreneur creates systems that they don't create self-employment where you have to be directly involved for this thing to make money. If you're not there working directly with the money generation process, things fall apart and they don't work. The best time to send an email to someone is at the best time that works for each one of them. How can we apply this level of personalization to an email that can be sent to anyone? The answer for this question, which is the hack I'm going to share with you, is what they're going to do is watch this video, and at some point this offer will pop up. Here is our checkout. The checkout starts with a quiz. The quiz is the outer layer of this top of the funnel to have this first contact with leads, and it's designed to generate leads for the business. Reciprocity is the name of the game. When you start having a relationship with your clients, make sure that the first thing you signal to them is trustworthiness, reliability, value. People don't pay, people repay. Welcome to another Behind the Brand session. Let's see what our priorities for today is. This is Q4 2025. This is all the priorities we have. So one of the things I do when I look at projects, like all these projects right here we're seeing are Q4 2025. So it looks like a lot of things, but there's a way for us to organize this information in a more productive way for us to attack the priorities in a certain order. And the way we organize things here at Become Your Brand is through a tool called the Eisenhower Matrix. An Eisenhower Matrix is made of 4 quadrants. In quadrant number 1, you have things that are urgent and important. These are the number 1 priorities. Number 2, we have things that are not urgent, but they're important. They have to be done, but they can wait a little bit longer. So I will do them when I have more time. Quadrant number 3, we have things that are urgent but unimportant. How can something be urgent and unimportant? It's because they have to be done now, but if they're not done, the impact they produce in the overall result of the company is very low. So they have this urgency of time, but not doing them will produce a low level of impact, and completing them also will produce a very low positive impact. I order my tasks, my projects, going from urgent and important first, then not urgent and important, then I move to urgent and unimportant. The 4th quadrant is not urgent or unimportant. So things that are not urgent and unimportant in my Eisenhower Matrix are only projects that are complete. So if you look here to the list of projects, all of these projects here, they are complete. So this is the only way I can have any project that is not urgent or unimportant. This is how I play with the Eisenhower Matrix. I pick my number 1 priority from quadrant 1. I take my second priority in quadrant number 2, and I take my third priority in quadrant number 3 for that day. In one day, I'm going to work in a project in quadrant number 1, then I move to quadrant number 2, then I go to quadrant number 3. How do I do this? First of all, I take all my tasks, my projects, and I divide into quadrants. I also add another dimension, which is time, because time is limited. I use the Pomodoro Technique to work on these quadrants. The Pomodoro Technique is a time management technique created by an Italian called Francesco Cirillo. So basically how the Pomodoro Technique works is have a block of time dedicated to deep work, which is cow no pork. Deep work, it's another dimension already. Deep work with time constraint, a time sprint. We're going to work hard, work deep. We're going to apply deep work techniques here. No interruptions, no distractions. You're going to work for a focused time, a time sprint. And then you're going to take smaller breaks. You can look at your phone, have a snack, relax, or play video games, or do whatever. Walk outside. And then you're going to have another sprint, and then a break, and another sprint. When you have blocks of time with breaks, give a buffer to your body, to your mind, to yourself as a whole, that's going to justify the uninterrupted and concentrated work that you're going to develop there. So let's say I have time for 3 sprints of 90 minutes today. This is what I'm going to do. My first sprint going to be of quadrant number 1 because it's urgent and important. And the second one will be from the second quadrant, and the third one will be from the third quadrant. This is an example. Another example would be I will complete 2 quadrants, 2 projects. Today I'm going to work in 2 sprints in the first quadrant and just 1 in the second quadrant. It will depend on the dynamic of the day, but the principle is I have my focus on everything in quadrant number 1, my energy and most of my time. Then I can move to the other quadrants. So let's see how this is going to turn out today. So the first one will be for today. I think I'm going to focus on finishing the mindset checkups. Let's say this is going to be my project number 1. These other projects we're way ahead of the game. You can see here by the pizza chart where they are. And all of them due at the end of the quarter, by the way. I set everything for the end of the quarter. I have all the tasks organized by quarter. This is all the last quarter of 2025. This is what we're talking about here. Okay, so the second one will be, okay, so these two are connected. Complete the mindset checkups and rebuild the top of the funnel. Let me have that as a second one because it's like one big sprint. By doing one, I'm going to do the other. Third one will be complete the lab. This is the most pressing one. It's going to be number 3 for today. My first sprint will be this one. My second sprint of 90 minutes will be dedicated to this one. And my third sprint of 90 minutes will be dedicated to this one. So because I'm using Pomodoro Technique to block my time, what I do is this app that I use, Tick Tick. It's the app I use to organize my task and put into this Eisenhower Matrix and use the Pomodoro Technique. So this app comes with the Pomodoro Technique feature. Like in this project, I already used you can see the number 7 with the tomato. And by the way, Pomodoro Technique is because Francesco Cirillo was Italian, and Pomodoro in Italian means tomato. So that's why you're seeing a tomato here. I already worked in 7 sprints and completed a few tasks inside this project. I dedicated 7 sprints of 90 minutes or 7 Pomodoros to this project, and with a total time of 10 hours and 30 minutes. Right now, I'm going to start a new Pomo, and it's going to set for 90 minutes because it's exactly my time sprint. So let's get going. Let's see, the next thing I have to do here is complete the mindset checkups. So we're working on this one. Right now, I have completed the Secret Growth Journey Automation. This is the product roadmap. These are all the products we currently have at Become Your Brand, and this list keeps growing. Just to give you more context, I'm rebuilding the top of the funnel at Become Your Brand. Usually, the top of the funnel means it's the first touch point, the first point of connection and relationship someone that's out there in the world is having with your brand. We have top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. The top of the funnel is where new customers, new clients, new people of interest are getting in touch with your brand for the first time. We talked about this in another Behind the Brand session. We talked about the Ready, Fire, Aim model, which gives us front end, back end, high end, and top end kind of products. And we're not going back to that, but you can watch the other Behind the Brand session, which we walk through the entire top of the funnel structure. But the rule of thumb is, because the top of the funnel is the first contact the outside world has with your brand, you have to lower the barrier as much as possible. The least you ask and the more you provide in terms of value, that's the best configuration for top of the funnel relationship with your clients. So we are rebuilding at Become Your Brand. We are rebuilding the top of the funnel. The way we found to talk with our audience in a way that will provide more value and ask almost nothing is to create what we call checkups. And checkups are quick delivery of value and clarity and awareness and tools by asking absolutely nothing in return. So let me give you an example of how we play this out. Let's say the first contact someone has with me is through a video. Most people can't remember their first win. What they're going to do is watch this video, and at some point, this offer will pop up. Here is our checkup. The checkup starts with the quiz. The quiz is the outer layer of this top of the funnel. This is also in every social media post, on LinkedIn, on blog posts, Medium, everywhere. This is how we're redesigning the brand. So you're going to see a link like this in a video, for example, and it's about a quiz. The quiz will give you the checkout. So the pathway is this one. Someone watches a video or see a social media post or whatever, there is a free quiz link. If people are watching this on TV, there's a QR code. If people are watching on their cell phones or computer, they can click on the first link here on the description. So when they click on the link, they find a quiz. So because this is a message video, there is a message quiz. Becoming a Brand works in 3 categories: mindset, mastery, and marketing. This is what we call the 3M system. We develop skills. We're in the education business grounded in the 3M system, which is built to develop your mindset, the mastery of your skills, and how you put your mindset and mastery behind a brand by giving means to build a personal brand and sustain your life by doing what you love, sharing what you love with others, and sustain your life with that. So this is the first part of the top of the funnel. It's published in a lot of places, and then they land here on this page. So they start answering questions. They will answer truthfully and accurately the questions that are being asked. This quiz system, there's an engine behind this quiz that's going to make some calculations and send them to the proper checkup, which is a full disclosure of their message archetype. Because this is a message piece of content, the archetype is going to be a message archetype. Each category at Become Your Brand, Mindset, Mastery, and Marketing has 3 archetypes. Based on the answers I gave, I'm directed to Provoker because I answer more Provoker questions. There's a full report. We give all this value for free. This is top of the funnel. So this is the idea. So you're going to see the strengths of the Provoker, where the provoker gets stuck, and this is all real value based on psychometric evaluation. This is not random. This is going to be something that's going to actually help people. And then we have a 7-day provoker growth journey that's personalized for the audience archetype. So it's going to be like a very personalized kind of experience. So we give them 3 skills to develop through the course of 7 days. In the case of a provoker, this is going to be pose, tension, and flow. And then we're going to direct them through a personalized path. So they will acquire throughout 7 days a logical path to develop the skills this particular archetype called provoker has to develop. They will be directed to a video, day 2 to another one, and then they will develop the first skill. And the day 3 and 4, they will be directed to these videos that will develop the second skill, and the third skill is going to be day 5 and 6. And all this is for free. At the end of the growth journey, they have the opportunity to have access to what we call the Growth Lab, our most affordable product at Become Your Brand. The Growth Lab, which will appear here, I still have to update this page to bring your brand story Growth Lab here. So we're going to have the thumbnail here. Growth Labs are videos, recorded videos. They're less than 1 hour, and they're not designed to teach you information. Labs are tools, systems, processes, solutions we install in your personal brand. It has multiple steps. First, you have access to a video of less than 1 hour to prepare you with exercise that you're going to develop using a personalized artificial intelligence designed by us to guide you through the exercises. So it's pure practical. People have me on a video, I explain something very quickly, and then we go to the practice. We do the exercises together. They have access to this personalized AI we developed to go through the exercises and do the exercises together. At the end of the Growth Lab, there's a checkpoint. The checkpoint is a live call with me for 45 minutes so I can assess the results of your exercise, the tools, the systems you install in your personal brand, so I can help you in a very personalized, unique, and customized way so you can take next steps and develop whatever you're trying to develop with the skills you're installing right now. So why am I telling you all this? To give you the proper idea that top of the funnel systems must be designed to provide a lot of value by requesting the least possible with new leads and prospects. So people can come to the 7-day growth journey and just consume the free content the 6 free videos and don't apply for the Growth Lab if they don't want to. And they will leave with a full checkup for their archetype. They will leave having developed 3 skills throughout the 6 free videos. This will help with brand awareness. There's a lot of future sales that are made with brand awareness. Just for being top of mind for your leads and prospects, they might find my videos later on YouTube or some social media posts. What you're seeing right now, it's one of the 3 message archetypes, but this is ready. I just have to add the Growth Lab at the bottom. The ones that we're reviewing right now are the mindset ones. So if I go back to TickTick, I'm going to see that I have to review them. Let me see how they're looking, because I've made some changes. I have to make sure these changes are all aligned with what we expect. Let me open them here, all of them. So we have 3 archetypes for mindset. I just have to review them to make sure everything is fine. So seeker. Also, okay, this is one of the things I have to check. It was initially designed to be 7 weeks instead of 7 days. But at some point I thought it would be too much time and we would lose people over time. The message one that we just saw, the provoker, is already updated to 7 days, but I have to update this one as well. So let's do that. Basically, I will have to do this with all 3. 7 week here. So let's add it 7 weeks here too. Whatever says week, let's say day, 7 day, 7 day seeker growth journey. So you can see here for a seeker, for example, which is one of the archetypes for mindset, we have 3 different skills to develop in this 7-day growth journey. This is fully personalized. So you can imagine like every category has 3 archetypes. Each archetype has 3 unique skills to develop. It's a sequence of 6 personalized videos with Growth Lab at the end. The more personalized you can be in a smart way to your customers, especially new customers, the more they will feel connected with your brand. It might sound like a lot of work at the beginning, but because we're building systems, this is the difference between systems and employment. There's a lot of people that are playing the entrepreneurial game as they were employees. They're creating systems that require their full involvement for that thing to work and produce revenue. This is not what we should do as entrepreneurs, as solopreneurs. We should build systems that work by themselves. We put a lot of work, dedication, time, and care to build the system, but then you don't have to be directly involved to make the system work. Once these pages are in place, the links are in place, the videos are published, the blog posts, the podcast, everything is published with the links, and these pages are here. I'm not directly involved. I work a lot to build the system, and then I walk away, I leave the system working, and I'm going to dedicate my time to something else. This is the difference between a self-employee and a business owner, an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs build businesses, not self-employment. I don't have to be constantly directly involved with this thing for this thing to make money. It doesn't make any sense because your time and effort is limited. So yeah, it's a lot of work to build a system like this, but it pays off because I don't have to be directly involved. Afterward, weekday, day 2, day 7, Mindset Mastery Lab. This one has already the Growth Lab ready here, so I don't have to deal with it. This is completed. I just have to update weeks, 4 days, and then we're done. Okay, this one is done. Let's move to Guardian, which is the second. This is the second archetype for mindset, Guardian. Completely different strengths, assessment, and it's fully personalized. Here are the skills we developed for Guardians. They are unique for Guardians. The 7-day growth journey, which is the 6 free videos, will be completely personalized to develop these skills, to unlock these skills in our audience that is going to be Guardians, depending on their quest, their assessment, daily focus. When you create a system, like when you're creating a brand, a business, when you create sales systems, you have to think, what is the leverage? And what is the highest return I can have? And by leverage, I mean, how can I organize the assets? How much do I have ready and I can use to provide value that doesn't require to create this thing from scratch? So for example, The 7-day growth journey is a completely free thing. These videos are already available for free on YouTube. So why would people do this? The personalization aspect is not the video itself, but the sequencing of videos. First of all, I'm handpicking the videos to develop this skill right here. So there's a full research. I have a bunch of videos. I'm going to research them in a way that these 2 videos in this sequence will develop this skill right here, which is a specific skill for one archetype for the mindset category. So this other skill, I'm going to research a bunch of videos, and then I'm going to put this particular video here and this one in this sequence to develop this skill. So I'm leveraging what I have to build the system. What I'm providing to the audience is value based on personalization, and I'm using assets to decrease the level of effort and time to develop the system. And it's fair because it's free. There's a value added to that because of the journey, because of the selection, the curation of the videos itself. That in and of itself is already value enough to ask for their email so I can deliver this through their emails. And at the end of these 7 days, I can pitch the Growth Lab, which is a paid product. This is a very affordable product, our most affordable product. I'm not going to price it here in the video because prices fluctuate, because audience change. This is going to be like for years. So I don't want this to sound outdated, but it's the most affordable one. And what we're going to deliver, even after delivering all for free, is way more than what we ask. Because there's another thing we have to think about as a business owner, as a creator, as an entrepreneur. Purchase from a customer standpoint is always a risk. A purchase is anxiety driven. So how do you sell things? One of the concepts I really like is the concept of spin selling by Neil Racken. One of the principles of spin selling is, how can I diminish the risk associated with this sale? A rule of thumb is, what you deliver in the mind of the client must be way more in terms of value perception. We're talking about value perception. It has to feel way more valuable than the money they're investing in that thing. They have to feel that this is a steal. So what do I deliver here in the top of the funnel is, there's a free quiz. There is a free archetype full results page. I don't add half of the results and I deliver the rest behind the email subscription. I deliver the full report. I deliver the entire 7-day growth journey. And when they go to the Growth Lab, that they have to pay for the almost 1 hour practical video with exercises with a personalized artificial intelligence developed by us that will walk them through the exercise, and having them actually doing the exercise via our AI platform, and having the blueprint that they can print and do the exercise, and it's going to be with them forever. And that's going to be just the starter of the checkpoint they're going to have with me live, where I'm going to help them with the real thing they want to develop based on the exercise they built. And then we're going to have a customized and personalized conversation, set the goals, and try to accomplish something on a call. What I'm giving here is way more than what this thing costs. Reciprocity is the name of the game. You have to build your brand in a way that's going to provide more value to your customers than what you're asking in terms of value perception. And this also helps you protect her, because there's a lot of scams, especially online. When you start having a relationship with your clients, make sure that the first thing you signal to them is trustworthiness, reliability, value. People don't pay, people repay. This one is done. Let's go to the third archetype for mindset, nomad. I'm a nomad, by the way. My mindset archetype is nomad. Okay, that part is done. Let's go back to our complete the nomad growth journey in Bravo, and then the guardian growth journey in Bravo. Okay, so I completed the seeker. Let me just go back to the seeker Just make sure that's days and not weeks. So let's go to our email platform and check how the workflows are working. Because these will be delivered through the course of 7 days, we have to create email workflows to deliver that over time. So let me go to the Seeker growth journey and just make sure that I also updated that from weeks to, yeah, it's 2 weeks. You see, I'm waiting 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. So we have to change this to 24 hours. Initially it was designed for days, but then I said, you know what, it's going to be too much. Let's say 24 hours. And then they receive the first email at the moment they subscribe, and then every 24 hours. There's another hack when we're going to create email workflows. For example, let's say you're going to deliver these emails through the course of 7 days. You might think, what's the best time to send them, to make the best case that these emails will be opened and clicked and people will actually consume this thing throughout the course of 7 days? Sending at the right time will have a huge impact on this performance, no doubt. But how can you personalize this part? What's the best time to send these emails? And the answer for this question is the best time to send an email to someone is at the best time that works for each one of them. So the best case scenario in a workflow like this, where we're going to walk people through 7 days, how can we apply this level of personalization to an email that can be sent to anyone? The answer for this question, which is the hack I'm going to share with you, is the same time they first interact with your content. Let's say they subscribed, they watched your video, completed the quiz, went through the archetype page, fill up the form with their email. The moment they fill up the form with their email, they'll enter this list right here, the seeker list. They become a seeker inside the platform. Their archetype is seeker. If you set the following days for 24 hours after that, the time they interacted with you for the first time is the best case scenario for them to keep following the other days, because whatever happens during their days, that time they used to consume your content and subscribe to the growth journey is the best time. If you set the send to 24 hours after the subscription, whatever happens in that day might be a constant throughout the other 7 days. This is the best case scenario. Instead of sending every day at 7 a.m. or 10 a.m. or something like that, use their own data to personalize the email sent. That will be way more effective. Okay, so all the 7 emails will be sent in with a delay of 24 hours. This is going to be a growth journey of 7 days. This is for the seeker. This is ready to roll. Seeker is done. We need to update the Guardian. Let's see if we can find, do we have the Guardian? Oh, so we don't have the Guardian yet. I'm going to duplicate this and then change the trigger. Some ESPs don't allow you to change the trigger. I'm not sure if Brave allows us to change the trigger on pre-existing workflow. So this is Guardian. Let's try, because whatever we can do to leverage our time and effort, that's the best. Okay, so yeah, point for Bravo. They allow us to change the trigger. This is going to be BYB, not Seeker. It's going to be Guardian. Oh, the Guardian list is not done. I don't have a Guardian list yet. So before I do this, let's just go back and leave. I have to go back to the CRM, to the lists, and review the list. So we have Provoker, Architect, Amplifier, Seeker. I'm renaming the naming convention as well. This is because the symbol of mindset category at Become Your Brand is a trophy. So that helps me identify what is that list about. So this is a category inside the mindset. That's a cluster inside the mindset category. Marketing mastery. I don't have the Guardian, so I'm going to create a list. We're going to call it Guardian, and the folder is going to be BYB, and that's done. And then I'm going to take the chance and also create the Nomad, which is the other archetype inside mindset. Nomad, BYB, create list. So let me see, where are they? Oh, right here. Now I have the 3 lists for mindset: Seeker, Guardian, and Nomad. Just for you to have the full picture why we're creating these lists, let's go back to the archetype page. For example, the Seeker archetype page. You can see that throughout the page we have these forms to start the 7-day growth journey. What happens is when they fill out this form, what happens in Breville is that if I go to marketing, and I go to forms and I try to find the seeker form. It says Seeker 7-Day Growth Journey. You're going to see that when people submit that form, they receive the first of the Seeker 7-Day Growth Journey email, and they get into the list associated with that form. So people that submit this form automatically get the first email of that archetype, trigger this flow that's going to deliver the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and the seventh email every 24 hours following that logic that we discussed. But they have to be added to the seeker list to do that. For the second one, this is the Guardian, we had to go back and create the list because we didn't have the list yet. So I can come here and change the seeker, replace the seeker with the Guardian. Here's the Guardian, and then I save. So if people submit the form that's on the Guardian archetype landing page, they will be listed in the Guardian list, and that's going to trigger this flow right here. So what I have to do right now, because this is a copy of the seeker, I have to go to the Guardian and see what's the sequence of emails they have to receive. So I have to go to the Guardian and see, okay, so this is the first email that has to be in their mail flow, and then this one, and then I'm going to replace these emails with the Guardian emails, and this is going to be all done. And then we're going to do this for the Nomad, and then we do this for the Guardian. This whole project here will be ready. Archetype, top of the funnel, quiz, archetype, growth journey with Growth Lab. This whole top of the funnel system will be ready, fully deployed. Then it doesn't need my direct involvement anymore. This is the whole game of entrepreneurship. You have to create systems that work for you, that you can leverage your time. You have limited time. So an entrepreneur creates systems. They don't create self-employment where you have to be directly involved for this thing to make money. If you're not there working directly with the money generation process, things fall apart and they don't work. You have to be very careful when you are seeking ways of building your brand or building systems. These are the type of things that I walk people through in our mentorship. I help others to develop themselves in these areas and replace hacks and tips and tricks for something sustainable and meaningful. Because the best life possible would be to create something that can sustain you. And that thing, it's a business, it's a brand, it's something that you love, you're passionate about it. That's the kind of lifestyle business that I really like to help people develop. So thank you for being part of this Behind the Brand session. Until next time.